So, you want to bag your Toyota Corolla Cross. Hello and welcome to a new video, guys, and today we have a Toyota Corolla Cross here in our studio, in our shop. As you can see, it's been a long time since hindi tayo nag-shoot ng video, so I'm happy to do another So You Want to Bag Your Car video. Thank you nga pala sa owner, Sir Justin, and congratulations on your Toyota Corolla Cross that we have finished the air suspension package on. So as you can see, if not obvious yet, the car's actually almost brand spanking new. The car has 643. So the car's really new. He really wants a bag Corolla Cross. He came from a Subaru BRZ or a Toyota 86 if I'm not mistaken. He has good taste in wheels. And actually, this is our first Corolla Cross na air suspension. So sabi ko, if we can catalog your video. I don't know if there's other builders na nakapaggawa na ng Corolla Cross. I think so. But this is our first one. So here's our iteration. You can see the car is actually on its lifted height right now. If you look closely, I think you can see the airbag from the front. I wanted to show you the lift capability first. But before we go into that, or we dive into that, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Like and share the video and hit the bell icon for a notification. Now, on this part of the video, I need you to lend me your ears as we will dive into the technical details on how to bag your Corolla Cross, okay? So we're gonna discuss the front suspension, rear suspension, where did we put the system, where's the tank, where's the compressor. So we're gonna discuss that all throughout the video. So without further ado, let's actually dive into the technical details of this car. Once again, lend me your ears. It's gonna get technical but educational. See you there in a bit. Alright, hello and welcome to the front suspension of the Corolla Cross. And as you can see, we did not take out the wheel because the clearance is actually really good. You can actually see the airbag from the wheel well. Anyway, zooming in, you can actually see with the wheel on, the airbags are actually sitting on top of the wheels. So whatever wheel that the owner may get, it's not going to hit the airbags. So in terms of clearance, it's actually really good. There's nothing much more I can say about the clearance because I can actually fit my hand in the back as well. We're using a standard fat bag here. A double bellow fat bag is what we call it. That's our terminology, so you don't have to call it that. But if you know the product code of this bag, then you know what we're using. Okay, McPherson type strut. I'm gonna try to slowly just swivel the steering wheel. Okay, so if you can see, the assembly is actually rotating with the steering wheel. That's why a McPherson type strut requires a very good shock bearing. All right, what else? The usual is to route the hose lines into the, oh, that's the hybrid system, holy shit. Anyway, the engine engaged. Anyway, the hose lines on the back side, as you can see from there. So the rule of thumb namin here is to follow the brake line so that you can have enough slack for your hose lines to, you know, when the steering wheel of the car rotates from left and right, you have enough slack so that the hose line won't get crimped, won't get gashed, and will have enough slack to actually last. Anyway, other than that, McPherson type strut, pretty straightforward, rotating assembly. You can zoom out a bit and you can actually see. All right, you can actually see the airbag pa rin. So yeah, that's it. Okay, let's move on to the back side where we're actually going to discuss the divorced torsion beam layout ng ating Corolla Cross. All right, let's go. All right, welcome to the rear suspension of the Corolla Cross where we actually are underneath the car. So as you can see, divorce layout tayo. We have a double bellow slim bag, standard size, in our spring catch, previously occupied by the coil spring. The left side of on the left side, we actually have our shock absorbers right there. Okay, the reason why it's a torsion beam is because when you zoom out, there's a big beam from left to right connecting the left and the right airbags. That black portion right there is actually the torsion beam. So it's very interesting that they used a torsion beam layout for a crossover. Usually crossovers are multi-link sa rear or trail arm independent rear suspension. The ride quality does suffer a bit if you're utilizing a torsion beam, but cutting down the cost, I guess that's the goal of it. Nothing much to discuss. If you can actually see in the video right here in front of you, the clearances are really good. You can actually fit a big bag on it and nothing will happen. All right, Let's move on to the system. It's actually right beside us right now here. The tank is actually mounted underneath. Okay, let's reposition the camera real quick. All right, welcome to the system part of this video. The tank and the compressors are actually mounted outside because the Corolla Cross, if you don't know, is a hatchback. Putting the compressors inside, it will actually make it really noisy inside. And putting the tank inside will sacrifice a lot of cargo space. We have a provision of space here naman. So we have the tank here. We're actually using a 2-gallon tank instead of a 3-gallon tank. And we have our bi-air compressor 444C here on the outside. If you're wondering, is this weatherproof or weather resistant? Yes. The turbulent air that passes through the under chassis of the car actually will help cool these fins here. It's an air-cooled compressor, so any ambient air or turbulent air passing through will help its cooling system. Other than that, yeah, the one inside the car is actually the valve. We'll go to that right about now. Alright, the valve of the vehicle is actually inside, and let's first assess or address the elephant in the room, which is the wiring. So I have to forgive the client for this kasi it's a brand new car. He does not want to bore holes underneath his panels kasi it's a brand new car. So the only way we can do a non-invasive setup is to actually use the grommet underneath the seats, right? There's a grommet here.
Underneath the seat.
Alright, underneath the seat there's a grommet. We'll actually show you a picture of that right now. And that is the only way we can do a clean setup without boring holes to his plastic panels here. Of course, I understand the sentiments of the owner. It's actually a brand new car. We don't want to bore holes here. So that's the reason why we did not do that. So, you have to forgive him for that exposed wiring and hose lines there. Will it pose a threat? Possible. If he puts items here, it could crimp the hose lines, but that is with the owner's discretion. Okay, he is aware of the risk, but he is actually worried about his panels because it's brand new. Anyway, that is where we put the valve system for now. And that's gonna be it. Okay? Let's go to the outro of the video where we discuss more about this car, the Toyota Corolla Cross. Okay, we're gonna start up the car. It's so weird to start a car na hybrid kasi I don't even know if it's engaged na. 643 kilometers on the clock. So I think the car's ready. Yeah, it's ready. I think, yeah, okay. We don't have that ignition start sound. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna drop the car. This is actually its lifted height. Let's quickly discuss the dynamics of the car before we move on to the summary. So the lifted height of the car is, let's connect. So this is the maximum lift capability ng kotse. So we have around 8 fingers. Sorry, 7 fingers. 1 finger is 15 millimeters. So if you do your math, it's like around, here's the total lift in millimeters. Pero on the back side, it's around 6 or 5. The reason why is the cladding on the back side is actually narrower. The front cladding is actually bigger. Something you need to take note about crossovers is they have claddings. Instead of metal fenders, they have plastic fenders, or what we call claddings, to protect the car from elements like rocks. Kasi it's a crossover. It's not really a sedan that's meant to be driven on the road lang. Crossovers are, you know, kind of, that's why it's called crossovers. It's like a sedan that crossed over to the SUV platform. So it's a mix of both. That's why ganyan yung cladding niya. But regardless, this is the drop of the car. 3, 2, 1, and dropping. A lot of pressure. So ang specs niya, wheel specs. If I'm not mistaken, this is an 18 by 7.5 on the front, 18 and 8.5, 8.5 on the rear, rocking a 225 on the front, 45 series, and 235 45 series on the back. So the owner suggested if he can go 40 series, so to lower the car even more. Pero as of now, parang hindi na kailangan. Kasi it's already, there's good amount of space pa sa taas. So going 40 series will not make the car any lower. Yan na yung sagad na suspension natin. We are actually using stock suspension. If you don't remember from the discussion kanina, quick recap lang, McPherson type strut sa unahan, torsion beam sa likod. So the camber on the back is static. It's not like a CRV na nagka-camber yung likod. It's actually a static rear camber. Okay? So no camber movement pala on the rear. Torsion beam siya. Similar to a Vios, a Corolla na 11th generation, alright, mga Wigo, ganon, torsion beam sa likod. Dependent suspension. On the front, we have a McPherson type strut. The usual with the, shock mount bearing, rotating assembly. So yun lang, it's a quick summary. So sa ngayon, there's no point to discuss the fitment of the car. Hindi naman siya fender to lip. It's actually a crossover. It doesn't require to be really low. It just has to be functional. Why did the client get air suspension for a crossover anyway? It's majority of it, I'm pretty sure it's for the looks of it. And crossovers on a lowered height actually looks really good. Inspired yan sa mga builds like the Foresters from the Subaru manufacturer. What else? Yeah, yun ang nakukuha kong vibe here. It looks like a Forester or a Subaru XV, ganon. Alright, to wrap it up, there's nothing much more to discuss, as I've said. It's a crossover. We're not looking for the maximum drop. But yeah, overall, our experience for this car is actually pretty straightforward. It's pretty similar to a Vios under chassis or a Corolla 11th Gen. 11th Gen has the McPherson type strut on the rear, torsion beam on the back. Pero ang Corolla 11th Gen is actually a married suspension. So if you want to watch that video, click here or click down below. Yun yung reference namin sa coaching to. What else? Other than that, yeah, thank you nga pala. Thank you, Justin, for letting us catalog your car. The wheels are amazing. He wants to three-piece this wheel, but I told him, siguro, is this 17 nga ba? Is this 17? Oh, it's 18. Going 19 is probably best bang for his buck. Pero parang going 20 is a bit too much para sa akin, ha? Pero that's going to be for his future build. I told him to ease into it. You don't need to do an upsize of a wheel. The wheel you have now looks good. You have complete center caps. It's an OGT 37. If you have good taste on wheels, this is actually really, really tasteful. Okay? So anyway, that's going to be it. Okay? Nothing much more to discuss. Hope you liked that video. Hope you learned something from this video. Alright? Okay? If you liked our layout for this car, okay, hit us up. We can bag your Corolla Cross. The system is actually separated from the interior to utilize the maximum space. Although we have to reiterate nga pala the system layout on the inside of the car, the owner did not want to, bore holes on his panels. Pero you have to forgive him for that. The car's brand new. Okay? That's going to be it. Is the Corolla Cross a good platform for air suspension? Yes. You can actually do so much more. It actually rides well lifted and lowered. So you can play along with that. You can traverse to multiple locations and still have a lowered, good-looking car. Okay, once again, thank you so much for watching. Please like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for the notification. And, it really helps. We are now at 20,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Fitment TV. That took us a long time to get. So I appreciate every subscription that you subscribers that will subscribe to this channel. But that's going to be it for now. Alright, it's been Cal from Fitment Engineering. You're watching Fitment TV. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.